All right, so I wore pink because everybody's got to have a gimmick. But, Okay, a few things. One, I don't know. Okay, all right, I got to see this trailer now because apparently Angry Joe's saying it's cringe as hell. I want to see the trailer first, and I'm going to give my review. Okay? And you're probably going to see, and like, let's get into it. Because I actually want to see what the trailer was. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to lower the audio for this.
Years ago, the world fell to cities put up walls to protect themselves and threw the criminals out so they could fight over what was left. But there are humble mother like me delivering cargo from one walled city to another. And that's where the cars and guns come in.
God.
So if I'm here, then the exit is... Oh, they have a Foot Locker.
Twisted. Oh shit, wait a minute. Deadpool in Zombieland? That makes a lot of goddamn sense. Holy shit.
Welcome to New San Francisco. I want to hire you. Pick up a package, bring it back. I can make your every wish come true. So John, what do you wish for?
Toilet paper. 2-ply.
I think I can do better.
3-ply?
3-ply? Hit PlayStation game series.
All right, Evelyn, let's deliver this package. It's rude not to introduce yourself before
I'm really happy I came into this blind.
putting a gun on someone. Oh, this is rude. If you put the
Up in here.
you off as close as I can to where you're going. You have no idea.
Hey, Chicago.
Even the people trying to bring the law back are dangerous. This is our land. These are our roads. And you're gonna have to go through Vegas. We both know who rules Vegas, John. Hi, everybody.
Oh my god, one of the best goddamn characters.
I've never seen anyone cut off a human head and catch it as good as that.
Anthony Mackie. Was that? What? That is Will. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Samoa Joe, I'm guessing, is who's physically. But is Will Arnett who I think it is? Is Will Arnett who I think it is? Hold on. Is that right? No. Is that right? Oh, no, that's someone else. Okay. Okay, I know Will Arnett's from something. Who's Will Arnett? Hold on. Will Arnett is in something I know. I sure Will Arnett movies and TVs. Hold on. Sorry, I just got to check this real quick. I'm bad with faces and shit. Oh, wait. Oh! He's BoJack Horseman, is he? Yes! Okay, that's who that is. Okay. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Wait, who's he in the Batman? Oh, he's Batman. Got it. I'm an idiot. Alright, let's keep going.
This is gonna be fun. Peekaboo. This never happened to me before. Really? Man. Oh, man.
Oh my God, it's DMV.
What's down the red line? No, please! Cool. Screams.
Okay. So, Mr. Schneider told me about this show, and I'm like, I didn't hear about it. Like, I had Twisted Metal for, I think, the PSP. I think it was the one I had. And, like, I played it. It wasn't exactly a game that, like, I remember very much of, other than you drive around. Yeah, and it definitely was the PSP, because that was like the game, like, I want to kill some time. Let me play some Twisted Metal. I don't think I ever got far on it. I think I never got far on it, but I do remember stuff, obviously, like Sweet Tooth. I never remembered his name. I just remembered who he was. Like, flaming clown head guy. Drives around in the thing. Yeah. I remember that. I don't remember if there was any really of a story to Twisted Metal. I do remember, though, and it's like the very recesses of my brain, that I'm pretty sure Roadkill, or John Doe's character, John Doe's car, is the car I used a lot. And I remember, I think so, yeah. Because if I remember correctly, because that one was like the starter car, if I remember correctly. He was the beginner car that you would get, and he was the most straightforward. Guns in front, shoot. And it was like the simplest one. I think you could beat the entire game with that one because it's simple. Just drive and shoot the hell out of them. So yeah, that was my whole thing with that. That being said, can we also all agree that Anthony Mackie is a badass motherfucker? And I mean this in a sense of out of every MCU actor, I'm trying to think, out of every MCU actor, other than I'm trying to think, cause I gotta watch what is it, Glass Onion? Knives Out. Where Anthony Mackie honestly has a very good range. Holy shit. He can do the smart ass character. He can do the serious character, like in Altered Carbon. He can do dramatic shit, like in Black Mirror. And even this is like a mix of that. And in this, he can do the fast, smart talking smart ass. And I love that character archetype. By God. Hell, Spidey's one of the main reasons, whatever. But Anthony Mackie is a badass actor, and I love him in this. 100%. He is so damn good with his smart-ass comments. He's so good. And mind you, that's also tied up with the writing, obviously, to deliver all the lines. But, the smart-ass comments come out, naturally. He's so good at, just get, shooting them off and making the joke land. It's so damn good. Not to mention Will Arnett and Samoa Joe as, I'm assuming that's Samoa Joe.
I've never seen anyone cut off a human head and catch it as good as that.
God, Sweet Tooth is so good too. And also, let me say this right now, because just in case for future reference, in Al Wolftown, I already had an idea of Messenger, pretty much. They were called Messengers, being a job that is in that world of Al Wolftown, my little anime story, where they would take supplies between point A to point B, mostly because it's dangerous outside of cities a lot of time, because obviously there are goddamn monsters everywhere. That being said, I just want to put that out there, but that being said too, I'm probably going to add some little things also, I'm going to spoil, maybe I spoiled some of this. I love Evelyn. Evelyn is great. And Evelyn's final scenes, I'm like, oh my God, the mirroring of when she, events of when she first meets John Doe, the main character who lost his memory. And what happens, oh my God, I had to rewatch that twice because I'm like, oh my God, the emotions for this card, person, the emotions for this thing is so, oh my God, I love this thing, and it makes me just want to go out and go fix my truck, because my truck has some issues I've been, not neglecting, I just haven't had the money for them, but, by God, I want to go fix my truck now, holy shit, how many times am I going to say, but, God, this entire show is so good. And mind you, I don't, here's the thing too, because again, I'm coming in as a I wouldn't even say casual Twisted Metal player, because I played it years ago for the PSP, so 2005, the one for the PSP, in 2005, around there. So, it's not I'm the biggest Twisted Metal fan, and, I wonder how Twisted Metal fans react to this movie, because this show, because here's the thing, I'm not even that big of a Halo fan, but it pissed me the hell off a lot every time Master Chief took off his helmet in the show, when I'm like, God damn it, keep the helmet on, the whole thing is you wearing your goddamn helmet. How do you mess that up? It annoyed the shit out of me. This, if you're expecting like, oh yeah, it's 10 episodes of just driving and killing and, twisting, drive, like, that's not gonna happen. For a few reasons. One, that's a lot of driving, choreography, and all that shit. As well as cars needed, as well as cars needed to explode and stuff, and like, getting stunt drivers and all this shit. Like, there's an obvious reason why they were gonna do that in the first season. Because, like, for the whole thing, because obviously that's a lot. That being said, though, the scenes that do happen are really good. And I'm watching, like, obviously 90% of, like, not all of it is going to be driving, but, like, the very end of it is going to have a big goddamn finale. And it does. It has a really big-ass finale, which is really good. And just to kind of, like, give a synopsis of all this. And, like, the trailer kind of gave it up. Pretty much, this lady here hires John Doe to pick up a package in Chicago from, I think they're in San Francisco. From San Francisco, so that's Seattle. From San Francisco, so California. San Francisco to, he needs to drive from San Francisco to Chicago to back here. Which I love every time one of the cities or place states that I know is brought up, and it's a hellhole. Like, this kind of reminds me of, if anyone remembers the show Revolution, it kind of has a similar premise. Pretty much, at some point in time, technology fails. Why? No one really knows. Technology fails, world goes nuts, and there's certain cities spread out about. In Revolution, it was like electricity disappears, and all that stuff. And I love that, and like electricity just does not work at all. So you have to either go by steam power or all that stuff. And it's kind of funny because in that one, they're like, we don't want, like, we can go here, but we don't want to go down to Texas. I'm like, yeah, the one place I would have a shit ton of guns that would probably kill you would be Texas in the apocalypse. But in this one, they don't even say why, but it says it's Chicago, and John Doe just goes, nope, and leave, and was about to leave, like, nah, are you insane? But he does get an offer of he'll be allowed to stay in the city. Also, I love this.
I think I can do better.
Paper.
So, John, what do you wish for?
Toilet paper. 2-ply.
I think I can do better.
3-ply?
I don't know if you like that joke or not, but yeah. But anyways, like I was saying, I love, God, the smart ass comments are so good in this. But yeah, so John pretty much has to go through there, which then he also runs into this girl, Quiet, who becomes pretty much like his partner / spoilers, I guess, kind of spoilers, love interest kind of thing, and it's really good. It's like within these 10 days, he has to get from point A to point B, not moment lower, or he won't be allowed in. This girl kind of just wants out, and like this entire first season is like there is a shit ton of driving, not really like a lot of like gun share and stuff like that. But it is like this entire first season is really, really building up the world around, like just seeing how shitty everything is, where like, you have the different walled off cities, you have different cults that are out there, whether it be vultures, which are just, I guess, like looters and shit. You have the law, which is Officer Stone or Sergeant Stone or whatever, which I'm sure he was a character in the games too. Where he has his own militia going on, shooting things. We see the different characters' backstories, like Stone being pretty much like a mall cop almost in the beginning, and then he'd be pissed off if I hear me say that. Pretty much a mall cop in the beginning, and then he kind of goes nuts when the world ends, which is really funny. God, there's a whole scene where he gets stuck up in his own house, and like they steal his shit, and they're like, "What does he have back there? Jugs of water? No, like Jugs magazines, like porno." And he just goes, and the lady holding it was like, "Of course you like big boobs, you sick fuck, like you pervert." I'm like, motherfucker, you're robbing him. And why the fuck are you gonna complain about his shit about something he likes to do on his private time? Screw off. But yeah, so that was just like, yeah, I was like, screw you, lady. I don't even care if you're pregnant. Fuck you. I'm like, nah, I hate you. But even then, Stone was an asshole, and like he doesn't go great from there. Like he's pretty much an asshole. He's a big like enemy kind of throughout this whole thing, and also like, and then like you have things like Sweet Tooth, where Sweet Tooth is, I'm gonna say this right now, like probably like one of, if not the best character in this. Like every time he's on screen, he steals the show. He is like the incarnation of madness, and it's so good. And like him with his friendship with the character Stu, who's the guy who said like, oh, you know, I never seen a guy cut off a head before. Like so more like the friendship between them, I honestly think is kind of cool. And it literally kind of makes me sad towards the end. I'm like, no! When Stu has to make a choice, I'm like, no! God damn it! I'm like, and like, it's so good. And they also, there's spoilers, I guess. They do recreate the Burt Flaming Clown head thing. But God, man, like, every time Sweet Tooth is on screen, he is astounding. And the acting is really good too, both physically and vocally. Because physically, I'm pretty sure it's a Darth Vader thing where it's not, you know, the voice actor obviously doing it. But I obviously know it's not. I just saw the voice actor. He's not this body type. But like this man, like, hanging like, come on, Stu, we're gonna have some fun together, and like, just has like he's just murdering people left and right. Like it's really really funny too because like there's a point which also like they get John Doe has a map that takes him from San Francisco to Chicago. He first off, it avoids all of the checkpoints of the law, except for the one checkpoint in the very beginning. And I'm like, man, that's a shitty. I'm like, God damn it, you missed one job, you missed one place, but whatever. It's the part where she talks about the DMV and the red line. And it's really funny watching this because these characters barely get out of that. Barely get out alive. They nearly get killed and all this stuff. They get overpowered and all that stuff. Sweet Tooth drives in, blows up the guard's brain, and just murders his way through and gets a following of people. He wants to be like, he's very much like the Joker. He's like, he wants to get applause and shit. And like, he wants to get applause. He wants to get, he wants to take his show on the road, and like that just causes a whole bunch of problems. Like first, he had the show in Las Vegas that he puts on for everyone, for whoever's there. And it's honestly, here's the thing I love about this guy too, because I love the smartass. The smartass is one of my favorite character archetypes. It really is. Another of my favorite character archetypes, which it has to be done right, is the innocent psychopath. Like Sweet Tooth is that. Like, it's like the joke, like certain incarnations of the Joker are maybe that. Or like you can kind of get glimpses of that. No, I don't think the Joker is that actually. But the innocent psychopath is like one of my favorite archetypes. And that's the archetype where he's kind of a good like, here's the thing. When John Doe meets Sweet Tooth, and Sweet Tooth kind of drives up, and it's so great with the music playing. The music playing. He tells like, "Are you here for the show?" And John goes, "Yeah." Spins around, starts shooting at him. This guy hits him, knocks him out. He's like, "You said you were here for the show." And he just goes, "You said you were going to come to my show." Yeah, sure. And well, there's a whole chase scene, fighting and all that stuff. And then, hold on a minute. Back. But like, he's like, "You sit." And like, he like hunts them down in the casino and shit. John Doe and Quiet hunts them down in the casino, slams his ass against a wall, slams his ass against a casino, like one of those like cash things, and then like the song starts playing, they're like ba-donk, and then freaking John Doe starts playing like like starts singing along with a bon donk 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 donk, and it's your turn, and like they start like jamming. He's like, you said you were coming to my show. I'm like, I you know what, I will. And he's like, good, man. It takes him to have a show. He's like, and the guy goes, he's like, and he goes, and like John Doe goes like, so after the show I can leave. He's like, well, yeah, I said so, you know, if you survive. And I'm like, okay. And he keeps his word. Like Andre, like that's the thing about him and like an innocent psychopath. He's insane. He will murder and kill his way through everything. But he keeps his word. He keeps his word. If he says, I'm going to let you go, he's going to let you go. If you have a jam session with him and have fun with him, you are going to have fun with him. If you can make him your friend, he will be your friend probably for life. Like, unless you betray him, and in that case, you're dead. Because, like, he had trusted you, and then you betray that trust, so he's going to kill you. I love the innocent psychopath. Because there is no lying, there's no cheating, there's no, like, double, like, oh, I'm actually going to kill you later. Like, there's none of that shit. It is along the line, unless he tells you. Like, he will tell you, like, oh, I'm going to kill you. Or, like, something along those lines. He's not that. He is like, well, yeah, he is that. Like, he's like, if he's going to kill you, he's probably going to kill you. If he says, like, you're my best friend, we're going in this together, he will do that. And I love that shit. That shit is so good. Like, oh my God, I love it. Every time he's on screen, he is so good. Like, honestly, 100%. This sums him up very much.
Catch it as good as that.
Like that sound effect isn't in it, but it sums him up extremely well. Just like ding, like the thumbs up, like yes, like he's a living goddamn cartoon. And like, again, it just to show how powerful he is, how strong he is that yeah, like John Doe and Quiet barely got out alive. Barely get out alive. But so he walks in and he murders everyone there like single-handedly. Like that shows perfectly how sweet. Like that is beautiful. And then he just goes on a terror rampage collecting more like followers and shit, his audience. And like even like says like, I'm just trying to find, you know, the people who like me for me. I'm like, God, I love this man. And, oh my God, and he did do one thing in his past I did not agree with and I did not like. But everything else other than that, I love this man for it. Like, holy shit, he's so goddamn good. Let me see, it took me like 2 days to finish this, like on and off and stuff. But, delivery between cities, straight killed and ate a baby seal. Oh yeah, dude, like, and the thing is, this entire show has a very like twisted sense of humor. Doey has a whole twisted sense of humor about itself. Where like you'll see John Doe looking down, see some seals, a baby seal walks up, and he's like, next scene is him eating the baby seal, cooking the baby seal meat. I'm like, okay. Like, this has a very, like, sick, twisted sense of humor. I'm sure there's a shit ton of, like, references. Oh, yeah, like, another thing is, like, one point where there's apparently an atomic radiation, storm. What is it? It's got, like, a Kinder storm or something? Let me see. Poo-made gas. Blew up Granny. Yeah. Stolen a plant. Let me see, where was it? Oh, Watkins Storm. A Watkins Storm. Where it's like a radiations in the sky creates like this purple and green lightning that strikes down, which I think is like one of the power-ups you could get in the game. And it's great. Like that whole thing, like these two, Quiet and John Doe hide in the Astral Burger, as it's called, which I'm sure that's a reference to the actual game too. And like they find a body of like a cultist who killed himself. He's like, well, Jeff, whatever the hell his name is, we need to take you out. Throws him outside throws the body outside, has like a knife in it and all this stuff. And then pretty much he had a note that said, please leave my body here for the mothership to pick me up. They threw his body outside. Like, yeah, no, we're throwing it. Throw the body outside. Lightning happens. End of the thing. Dude's just freaking like bones because lightning was just striking the knife and striking him and burning and killing him. And it's really funny because then, like, you know, he's just looking down at the body, like, oh man, he's burnt. And then he looks down at the body, he's like, freaking nerd. And like walks away. I'm like, God damn, you didn't have to do that. But like, there's a mean spiritedness to it, but also like a fun, like it's a funny mean spiritedness, I guess. I don't know. It's like seeing Deadpool riders and Zombieland riders in this. That makes 100% sense about it because it has that like kind of mean, but like really funny like thing. It's not like where it's like too mean. I would say at least. Shit, and like some character, man, and the characters are so fleshed out too. Like John Doe is afraid of the ocean. Why? Because it's full of ghosts. He's like, and Quiet just makes fun out of it. He's like, have you ever heard of ghost ships? Who do you think buys those? Ghosts. And I'm like, oh God, I love this man. Like, there's, like I said, like the innocent psychopath is what Sweet Tooth is. But, like, I would say too, like, there is also that sense of innocence throughout the entire show, in a sense, also. Like, it feels like everyone is playing a game, in a sense. Not so much like, oh, you're playing a PS2 game. Which also it pops up one way because EB Games exploded and, like, the game landed on the... And, like... I keep saying Anthony Mackie, but John Doe, he's like, the hell? It's good. Also, I love the thing that they're doing with like this and The Last of Us, where it's like, yes, the world ended on 2002. So like everything that happened in our timeline did not happen. And we are going on from 2002 into the future. And it's kind of really good. God, and like, again, like the story, the characters are really good when you learn a little bit more Sweet Tooth's backstory, which is kind of funny. And then you find out some twisted shit that he did with like his parents. And like, okay, not what you're thinking. But yeah, like stuff like that. Or when you learn about like, Anthony Mackie's character, John Doe, and Evelyn. And like that whole thing, you're like, oh my God, I see why this is such a hard choice. Like, oh my God. When you, like, again, you learn more about the world and stuff, about, like, you can pretty much give yourself into, like, being an indentured servant. But the thing is, you'll be working for these rich people who will ask for your body parts to wear as jewelry, whether they ask for your finger. You'll see people with, like, their nose missing or toes missing. And you're like, oh my God, like, what the hell? And you can't talk for, like, however many years. Like, it is so good. Like, the world building is so good. And, like, again, like, there is talking, but, like, it's fun talking. Like, you're not, at least for me, I was never bored when the characters were talking. And it's not like saying, like, oh, like, I have to have action 24/7. No, but this is a show where, obviously, it's based on a game where it is action, like, all the time. And I think there's probably a loose story, maybe. This show, God, my eyes are like focusing and it makes the screen look like it's coming at me. No. But this show, like, the dialogue is snappy. The dialogue is funny. The dialogue, but then it can also be serious. Like, you will get throws Joan at you with smart mouth of this dude all at the beginning of the game or the movie. But by the end, like, maybe a character will quiet out, or a character that's super quiet will then not ever stop talking. And not in, like, an annoying way, but, like, in a kind of funny way. It's like, yeah, okay, I love these guys. Or, again, like, at one point, like, a character will get betrayed, and then we'll find out later on, like, oh, it's this guy! What was his name? God damn it! And then he says his name, like, yeah! And this dude's just flipping off. He's like, yeah, that's my guy! Oh, my God, I love these guys. Oh, my God. I did think Stu made the wrong choice at the end. God, but yeah, this show. like, I have an entire list of all the jokes and shit that happened in here. Like, Calypso, which I'm pretty sure is the narrator for the thing. There's, like, a really big twist at the end where I'm like, oh, there's, like, 2 to 3, like, really big twists at the end. Like, holy shit. And I honestly love, like, where it ends too, because they set up for season 2, where there's a lot of really good, like, storylines to happen. I'm like, yeah, I'm loving all of this that's happening. But also, on top of all that, which is really good, one thing I love on top of all of that is that, like, it seems like, yeah, season 2 is going to be a lot more car battles. It seems like 100%. And, like, watching the show, I think I kind of realized why certain Netflix shows fall flat for me at times. And, like, there's a lot, I always say, like, I brought it up a few times where, like, it's like the Netflix feel. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what that was. And I think I kind of did figure it out. Where Netflix very much, I think I said it too, I think it was, Netflix really tries to extend the length of content a lot for it. And like let's say that there's a full ass story, they will break that up into 3 or 4 different seasons. Like, for example, a major storyline in this is the law. And the main storyline is get from here to Chicago back. That's the main story. In between that, there's the mini boss of the law, where Officer Stone and stuff. If this was a Netflix show, Officer Stone and, like, the battle with him and all this stuff would have been, like, the first battle and all that stuff and the first confrontation, all that stuff would have been the ending of the first season of Twisted Metal if this was a Netflix show. And then maybe, like, another season of John Doe making it to Chicago, and then another season coming back to, like, coming back to San Francisco, maybe, like, 2 seasons, actually, so he gets back to San Francisco, and then, like, the season 2, what's gonna happen next season 2. Like, that's how Netflix would have played this. Because I'm literally watching, like, this is easily where they could cut this season off. And they don't. They keep on going. And they keep even building up the world more. Like, there's cool things like a moving city out of convoy trucks. So I'm like, that's really cool. Also, a thing is, Quiet lost a finger. And they followed the common practice when if you ever lose a limb, you'll get, like, a replacement, like, limb thing on, like, Herschel in The Walking Dead losing his leg, so they give him a fake leg, so that way they actually put his leg in there. Jamie from Game of Thrones has a whole golden hand, so that he can put his hand that way. They don't have to try to hide it with CGI. So, and it's like they put a fake finger on Quiet to keep her. So that, but yeah, like I literally don't want to spoil too much. But, like, the ending is really good. It sets up for the next season, and it's, like, so good. Like, you're like when the first there's, like, multiple like, at the end, the very end, there are, like, 3 or 4 reveals that are so good. And I honestly love, even when they do the name drop of the show, where at the very end something's brought up, and she says, and, like, this girl says, like, a flaming pile of twisted metal. I'm like, oh my god, that's so good. Also, the Granny Sutra is great. But, and banged in a ball pit. Because 2002, that stuff, so obviously they saw ball pits in, like, their McDonald's, which I'm like, alright. Oh, walls of cars. Cannibals. Yeah, like, Zachary, that was the guy's name. The alien guy who died. He's not an alien, but, Locurus, full of excessive talk and wordy. And I'm pretty sure that, and I'm waiting for this dude to come back up and use that for when he meets John Doe again, talking. Yeah, also there's a point where a Barbie girl plays, where I was like, well, the main reason why I was going to wear pink for this, because there's a point where Barbie girl is used for torture, and I'm like, god, it's so great. But yeah, I thank you, Mr. Styro, for recommending me this, because honestly, legitimately, this was a damn good show. Anthony Mackie is such a good actor. And he's in so many projects that I love it. Like, again, like, whether it be the MCU, yeah, sure. And now, like, I'm kind of happy now that he is Captain America, definitely. But I would love if this was the personality of Captain America. But anyways, like, him being Captain America, him being in Black Mirror, him being in Twisted Metal here, him being in Altered Carbon, like, he has such a variety of TV appearances while also being in big Marvel movies. And I love that shit. Like, that's so cool. I love that a lot. And he picks good projects to be in. And, like, wow, I love it. Like, this man is honestly becoming one of my favorite actors. Nicolas Cage is probably one of my favorite actors ever, too. Nicolas Cage is great. Nicolas Cage is another one who has such a range and a fun, like, time in everything he's in. I love it. I think the only one I think he didn't seem like he had a lot of fun in and kind of walked through it a little bit was, like, that one religious movie with the planes. But anyways, yeah, this show is great. I highly recommend it. If you want good smart-ass comments and characters, go watch this show. It's so damn good. The characters are great. The design for, like, the bad guys and everything is great. It's funny how, like, the vultures all wear tires and shit. How characters talk to each other. The world that it builds, where it's like Mad Max, and like kind of almost like a zombie apocalypse kind of thing, but obviously there's no zombies, just people. But also having a funness to it all is so good. Like, it is so, so good. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Tell me what you think, comment below. Thanks for watching. Share videos. Also, dude freaking falls asleep in a race car bed at the end. Anyway, this is great. I love it. Tell me what you think, comment below. Thanks for watching. And it's also very heartfelt too. God, it's so good. Thanks for watching your videos. Hope you enjoy this. Go watch this show. It is so damn good. I want a season 2 because I hope season 2 they're like, yes, see how good we did without like having too many of the big expensive explosions and shit. Now imagine when we do all that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Also, there's a whole thing with like convoys now, because like now I found out in Japan, like there's other Optimus Prime, but they're all called like convoy, and I'm like, that is such a cool thing. I'm gonna use convoy as a name and something now.